Learned during her years as Earth's top diplomat, hundreds of different species watched her with various appendages and sensory organs. Some leaned forward with curiosity. Others recoiled in disgust. The air felt heavy with tension. Sam could feel the weight of 7 billion human lives on her shoulders. The fate of Earth would be decided today. The Council Arbiter, a towering being with crystalline features that caught the light in hypnotic patterns, raised a limb for silence. The chamber immediately fell. Quiet, human delegate, you stand before the Galactic Council to answer for your species' unregistered presence in Sector 472. The Arbiter spoke, its voice translated through the small device in Sam's ear. The penalty for unauthorized expansion is severe. Sam cleared her throat. We were unaware of galactic law until 3 lunar cycles ago when we encountered the Vrelian trading fleet. We come in peace, seeking understanding, not conflict. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. A delegate, with blue-scaled skin, stood. Ignorance of law does not excuse violation. The human vessels have already established mining operations in protected space. They must be removed and punished. Sam noticed how the other delegates reacted to the blue-scaled alien with deference fear. Perhaps she filed the observation away, a weakness to exploit later if needed. Instead, she activated her presentation device. Images of Earth appeared floating above the chamber. Scenes of nature cities and human achievements. The Arbiter was about to interrupt when Sam spoke. Humanity has only recently developed faster than light travel. Our expansion was not malicious, but born of necessity. Our planet faces resource depletion. Our people seek only survival. We had no knowledge of galactic territories or protected zones. She paused, letting the images shift to show Earth's environmental challenges, a strategic display of vulnerability. What surprised the Council was what came next. Instead of begging, Sam straightened her shoulders, and her tone shifted. However, in the short time since our encounter with the Vrelians, we have analyzed the public galactic trade networks. The blue-scaled delegate flinched slightly. We discovered that the mining zone in question was only recently designated as protected, and only after preliminary scans revealed rare mineral deposits. Sam tapped her device and new images appeared. Documents and trading records. We also learned that Delegate Kren of the blue-scaled delegate's homeworld recently acquired mining rights to 3 similar zones. The delegates now shifted uncomfortably. I propose a compromise. Sam continued. We will share our mining technology, which our scans indicate is 40% more efficient than current galactic standards. In exchange, we request official recognition and a fair hearing for Earth's admission to the Galactic Council. The chamber erupted in chaos. Some delegates shouted objections. Others whispered furiously among themselves. The Arbiter raised both limbs, calling for order. The human makes an interesting proposal, said a new voice. A small delegate with features like a terrestrial owl stepped forward. Humans may lack political refinement, but their technological innovations could benefit many worlds. I second their request for a hearing. And so began humanity's first diplomatic victory among the stars. Not through military might, but through careful observation and strategic negotiation. Over the next several weeks, Sam and her small team of human diplomats worked tirelessly. They learned the complex dance of galactic politics. They discovered that the Council consisted of over 4,000 member species divided into voting blocks based on shared interests. The most powerful, the Founding 7, controlled nearly 60% of all votes. Sam met with Delegate Nix, the owl-like being who had supported humans during that first tense meeting. Your species adapts quickly, Nix observed as they walked through the massive space station that served as the Council's headquarters. Most newcomers take decades to understand Council procedures. Sam smiled carefully. We had to learn fast. Earth cannot afford delay. Our resources dwindle while political factions argue about space expansion. To survive, we need allies. Nix tilted his head. Allies require trust, human. What do you offer in return? Information. Sam replied. Your faction. The Rim Alliance has been blocked from developing new trade routes by the Core Collective. We have developed navigational algorithms that could plot routes through uncontested space. Nix, large eyes widened. Impossible. The gravitational distortions in those sectors make calculation. But Sam was already displaying the data on her device. Nix fell silent as he absorbed. The information. Intriguing, he finally said. Most intriguing, Sam returned to the human embassy, a small section of the station granted temporarily. The rest of her team looked up expectantly. Well, asked Mira, her chief strategist. We have our opening, Sam, replied. The Rim Alliance needs our navigation technology. The Resource Consortium wants our mining efficiency improvements. The Medical Collective is desperate for our genetic research. Even the Core Collective is curious about our entertainment. Broadcasts. Mira frowned. But we still face opposition from the Protectorate bloc. They control 20% of the votes, enough to block our petition. Sam nodded thoughtfully. The Protectorate claims to defend less developed species from exploitation, but really they're just another power block. They fear our potential. According to our data, they've blocked 17 species from joining in the last century, keeping potential competitors weak. What do they want? Asked Leo, the team's cultural specialist. Sam's eyes gleamed recognition above all. They want their moral superiority acknowledged. It's why they name themselves protectors. It's why they claim to defend others. And how do we use that? Mira pressed, by giving them exactly what they want. Sam replied, we will publicly request their guidance in understanding galactic ethical standards. We'll invite their representatives to Earth as cultural consultants. We'll make them feel important, and all it will cost us is flattery. The team exchanged glances. Leo chuckled. The galaxy runs on the same politics as Earth, just on a bigger scale. Exactly, Sam agreed. But we have one advantage. The council species evolved over millions of years with gradual technological development. Humans compressed that evolution. Into centuries, we think faster, adapt quicker. The council sees us as children, but we learn like children too, rapidly absorbing everything around us. As the days passed, Sam's strategy bore fruit. The human delegation made careful alliances flattering, some species challenging others, always advancing Earth's position. When council representatives visited Earth, they were strategically shown both Earth's natural beauty and its resource challenges, carefully cultivating both sympathy and respect. What the council didn't realize was that humans were already adapting council technology, improving it in ways the originators hadn't imagined. Earth scientists worked feverishly, incorporating alien concepts into human innovation. By the time the final vote for Earth's probationary membership approached, Sam knew they had succeeded. The council thought they were admitting a humble, grateful species under their wise guidance. In reality, they were opening their doors to the most adaptable, intelligent species the galaxy had yet encountered. Humans were coming to the stars, and the stars had no idea what was about to change. The Arbiter, a being of living crystal, rose to its full 12-foot height. Let it be recorded that the species known as humans from the planet Earth are granted probationary status within the Galactic Council. All rights and responsibilities therein apply for the standard evaluation period of 1 galactic cycle. Sam bowed deeply, hiding the smile that threatened to break her diplomatic composure. Earth thanks the Council for its wisdom and welcomes the opportunity to prove our worth. As she straightened, Sam caught the eye of Delegate Kren, the blue-scaled being who had initially opposed humans. The delegate gave what might have been a gesture of respect, or perhaps a warning. It was still difficult to read alien body language, despite weeks of intensive study. The council session adjourned, and Sam was immediately surrounded by her team. Laura, the xenobiologist, gripped her arm tightly. You did it, she whispered. They actually voted us in. One hurdle cleared, Sam replied, keeping her voice low. Many more. To go probationary status is just the beginning. Now the real work starts. Sam knew that the council's vote wasn't truly about accepting humans as equals. It was about containing them, monitoring them, ensuring they followed galactic law. Better to have the unpredictable newcomers inside the system than operating beyond it. What the council didn't realize was that this was exactly what Earth needed: access to interstellar trade networks, technology exchange, and most importantly, time to strengthen their position. The human delegation returned to their temporary embassy within the massive council station. Sam called an immediate strategy meeting. The vote passed, but only by 4%. Mira noted, looking at the data. The Protectorate bloc still voted against us despite our diplomatic efforts. Sam nodded. They were never going to support us. Their entire power structure depends on keeping newer species dependent. What matters is that we secured enough votes from the Rim Alliance and split the Resource Consortium. Now we have one galactic cycle, approximately 7 Earth years, to secure permanent membership. Marcus, the team's legal expert, cleared his throat. We need to be careful. The probationary restrictions are designed to limit our growth. The technology sharing is one way. They get our innovations but restrict what we can access. Exactly, Sam agreed. Which is why we need to focus on what we can legally obtain. Rim Alliance trade routes, Resource Consortium, mining rights, medical, collective research exchanges. All within council law but strategically valuable. The team worked late into the night planning Earth's next moves. Sam finally retired to her quarters, exhausted but satisfied. When her communication device chimed, she almost ignored it. Then she noticed the sender, Delegate Nix, meet me in Garden Sector 5. Now came the message. Urgent. Sam frowned but grabbed her translator and headed out. The space station had several garden sectors designed to accommodate the biological needs of different species. Sector 5 contained Earth-like vegetation recently installed at the human delegation's request. She found Nix waiting beneath a small earth oak. The owl-like delegate seemed agitated, his feathers slightly raised. "Thank you for coming," he said softly. "I risk much by meeting you alone." "What's wrong?" Sam asked. "You have enemies." Delegate Carter. "Dangerous ones. Your species' rapid advancement has alarmed the Founding Seven, the most powerful faction. They fear what humans might become." Sam kept her expression neutral. "We're merely trying to survive, a small species finding its place." Nix made a sound like soft laughter. "Do not play naive with me, human. I recognize ambition when I see it, but I respect it too. My species, the Avidar, joined the Council 3 centuries ago. We too were once viewed with suspicion." "Why tell me this?" Sam asked. "Because the Founding Seven will not accept your probationary status quietly. They will test you, challenge you. They seek either your failure or your submission, and you." Sam tilted her head. "Whose side are you on?" "My own." Nix replied candidly. "The Avidar benefit from balanced power in the Council. The Founding Seven have dominated too long. New species with new ideas strengthen my position. You need allies, I need change. Our interests align for now." Sam considered this. The first rule of diplomacy. Know when someone is telling the truth, even when it's not flattering. "What specifically should we expect?" she asked. "The first trial comes soon," Nix said. "Every probationary species faces 3 trials during their evaluation, testing their fitness for membership. Yours will be more difficult than most." Sam leaned forward. "What kind of trial? A Founding Seven colony world faces a resource crisis. They will request Earth's assistance. That doesn't sound like a trial." Sam frowned. "The crisis is engineered." Nix continued. "The colony can be saved, but only through significant sacrifice. The Founding Seven expect you to fail. Either you will refuse helping, proving humans are selfish, or you will deplete your own resources, proving humans are foolish. Either outcome justifies restricting your privileges." Sam processed this information. "They create a crisis to test our response." "Yes." Nix confirmed. "Then they will judge your solution by standards you don't yet understand." Sam nodded slowly. "Thank you for this warning. Why help us, as I said, balanced power." He rose, preparing to leave. "One final thing. The Founding Seven believe they understand humans. They have studied your history, your conflicts, your divisions. They expect you to behave as you have on Earth. Remember Delegate Carter. Sometimes the best strategy is to surprise your opponent." With that cryptic advice, Nix departed, leaving Sam alone with her thoughts. When she returned to the embassy, Sam called an emergency meeting, sharing Nix's warning. The team reacted with a mixture of anger and determination. If what Nick says is true, Marcus said we need to prepare. Not just for this trial, but for the political aftermath. Sam agreed. We need more information about the Founding Seven, their colony worlds, and especially their recent resource distributions. Laura, I want you analyzing every biological crisis in Founding Seven territory. Mira, dig into their political structures. Find their weaknesses. For hours they worked, compiling data, building models, anticipating scenarios. Dawn was breaking in the artificial day cycle when Sam finally saw the pattern. Look, she said, pointing to their compiled data. The Founding Seven control 90% of all dilithium production in the galaxy. So asked Marcus, they control many resources. Yes, but dilithium is different. Sam explained it's essential for most council species, FTL drive systems, but Earth developed alternative drive technology. We don't depend on it. The team fell silent as implications sank in. Mira spoke first. If the crisis involves a dilithium shortage, they expect us to fail because from their perspective, there's no solution. Sam finished. But we can solve it without dilithium. They don't know that. Marcus frowned. But if we reveal our alternative technology, we'll lose our advantage, Laura said. Sam shook her head. This is the real test. Not whether we can solve their crisis, but whether we're willing to reveal our technological advantages to help others. It's about sacrifice versus self-interest. They expect us to act like them. Mira realized. Protecting our advantages, which means Sam smiled. The best strategy is to surprise them. Show them humans think differently. The question is, how do we help without giving away everything? The team looked at each other, challenge and determination in their eyes. Earth had faced extinction-level threats before. Humanity had always adapted, survived, evolved. This galactic test would be no different. When the crisis call came 3 days later, just as Nix had predicted, Earth was ready to respond in a way the Founding Seven never anticipated. The first trial was about to begin. Galactic Council convened with unusual haste. Delegates rushed to their positions, many still adjusting ceremonial garments or translation devices. Sam Carter observed the controlled chaos, noting which species appeared genuinely concerned and which seemed rehearsed. The Founding Seven representatives sat in their elevated positions, their expressions suitably grave for what was supposedly an unexpected crisis. The Arbiter called for order. Crisis on Valara Prime. The Founding Seven colony world faces complete ecological collapse. Reports indicate critical dilithium processor failure, resulting in cascade contamination of planetary water systems. Estimated 3 million sentient beings at risk. Holographic images appeared, showing a beautiful, azure world rapidly turning gray, contamination spreading like ink through water. Plant life withering, animal species collapsing. Water sources turning toxic. Delegate Orin of the Founding Seven rose, his elongated frame towering over most other species. The situation is dire. Dilithium processing leaves toxic byproducts which are normally contained. Our primary filtration system has catastrophically failed. The secondary and tertiary systems were damaged in the resulting energy surge. Valara Prime has less than 14 planetary rotations before irreversible ecosystem collapse. Sam watched carefully. Every word, every gesture seemed genuine, but Nick's warning echoed in her mind. This was a test orchestrated to appear natural. Delegate Orin continued. Standard evacuation protocols cannot be implemented in time. The toxic spread prevents conventional landing. Many ships would be needed for complete evacuation, risking further contamination spread to other worlds. We request emergency assistance from all council members, particularly those with water purification technology. The chamber erupted in concerned murmurs, but Sam noticed how quickly the attention turned toward the human delegation. The Arbiter raised a crystalline limb. Earth delegates, your species has recently provided documentation of advanced water purification systems developed on your homeworld. Would these technologies be applicable to the Valara situation? And there it was, the trap carefully laid. Sam rose from her seat, keeping her expression appropriately concerned but measured. Honorable Arbiter, Earth is of course deeply troubled by the situation on Valara Prime. We have reviewed the data provided to all council members. She paused. Our analysis indicates our water purification systems would be partially effective, but the dilithium contamination presents unique challenges. Sam activated her own holographic display, showing chemical formulations. The council watched as simulated Earth technology battled against the contamination, slowing but not stopping its spread. Our standard technology would buy perhaps 7 additional planetary rotations, not enough for full evacuation or restoration. Sam continued. Murmurs of disappointment spread exactly as anticipated. Sam could see the founding 7 delegates exchanging subtle glances. Their trap was working. Earth technology was insufficient. The humans would now either retreat from the challenge, proving their selfishness, or deplete their own resources in a futile effort, proving their foolishness. However, Earth has an alternative proposal, Sam said. Her words cut through the murmurs, silencing the chamber. We believe we can adapt our experimental drive system technology to neutralize the contamination. Reaction was immediate. Delegate Oren nearly rose from his seat in surprise. The other founding 7 members leaned forward, suddenly alert. Your drive system technology, Delegate Carter? The Arbiter questioned. That seems an unusual application. Indeed, Sam agreed. But our propulsion technology utilizes a molecular restructuring process that could theoretically break down the toxic components of dilithium waste. Our simulations indicate a 93% chance of success. Sam activated another display showing the proposed solution. The chamber watched in silence as the simulation demonstrated how modified Earth ships could filter the contaminated water. The toxic spread reversed planet's ecosystem, gradually restored. Of course, Sam added, with perfect diplomatic humility, Earth would require assistance in adapting our technology for this specific purpose. We would need direct access to dilithium processing information, which I believe falls under restricted technology sharing protocols. The trap had suddenly become a dilemma. The founding 7 had created a false crisis, expecting Earth to fail. Now Earth offered a solution, but required access to closely guarded technological secrets. To refuse would reveal the test for what it was. To agree meant sharing knowledge they had kept from lesser species for centuries. Delegate Oren recovered quickly. The technology sharing restrictions exist for good reason. Unregulated access to dilithium processing information could destabilize galactic economy and security. Sam nodded in understanding. Earth respects the Council's wisdom in establishing such protocols, which is why we propose a compromise. The information can be provided to a joint emergency response team under Council supervision. Earth technicians will work alongside founding 7 experts. Our ships will be temporarily retrofitted for this specific humanitarian mission. Once complete, all adaptations will be documented and placed in Council archives for future emergency use. The proposal was reasonable, measured, responsible. It offered the founding 7 a graceful exit while solving their manufactured crisis. It also cleverly positioned Earth as both technologically advanced and cooperative. The Council chamber buzzed with discussion. The Arbiter called for a brief recess to consider Earth's proposal. In the diplomatic antechamber, Sam's team gathered around her. Did you see their faces? Laura whispered. They never expected us to have a solution. More importantly, Sam replied, they never expected us to willingly share our alternative drive technology. It's our greatest advantage. Marcus looked concerned. Are we really going to reveal our propulsion secrets? Not exactly, Sam smiled. The modified version we're offering uses only a fraction of our actual capabilities, just enough to solve their crisis while demonstrating our value. We're giving them a glimpse, not the full picture. When the Council reconvened, the founding 7 had clearly reached a decision. Delegate Oren spoke with measured grace. The Council accepts Earth's generous offer. A joint emergency response team will be established immediately with appropriate oversight. Earth has shown admirable concern for fellow Council members. Victory, Sam thought, but kept her expression appropriately solemn. Earth is honored to assist, she replied. We consider it our duty as probationary members to contribute where we can. As the emergency session concluded, delegates from numerous worlds approached the human team offering thanks and congratulations. But Sam noticed the calculating looks from the founding 7 representatives. This battle was won, but the war for Earth's place in the galaxy had only begun. Later, in the privacy of the Earth Embassy, Sam's team celebrated their first major victory against galactic politics. "We passed their test," Marcus said. "Still can't believe they created a fake crisis." "Not entirely fake," Sam corrected Valara. "Prime is a real colony, and they really did create contamination. They just controlled it. It was never going to spread as catastrophically as they claimed, but the danger was real enough to justify emergency measures." Mira shook her head. "It's ruthless, using their own people as test subjects. The Founding Seven have ruled for millennia," Sam replied. "They see it as necessary. The greater good. Planetary discomfort is acceptable if it maintains their power." Laura studied the incoming data reports. "The joint team leaves tomorrow. Our engineers will work with theirs to implement the solution." "How much are we actually revealing?" "Just enough," Sam said. "The molecular restructuring aspects without the quantum tunneling components. They'll see impressive technology, but not our true capabilities." "And what happens when they realize we've held back?" Marcus asked. Sam smiled. "By then we'll have solved their crisis, saved millions of lives, and earned goodwill from hundreds of worlds. The Founding Seven created this test expecting to use the outcome against us instead. We've turned it to our advantage, but this is only the first trial," Mira reminded them. "Nick said there would be 3. Sam nodded, her expression becoming serious. "We've surprised them now. They won't underestimate us again. The next test will be harder. More subtle. We need to prepare." And so as the rescue mission to Valara Prime began, Earth had scored an unexpected victory in the complex game of galactic politics. The Founding Seven had learned that humans were not to be easily manipulated or controlled, and Sam Carter had proven that humanity belonged among the stars not as servants, but as equals. Embassy glittered with light reflected off crystalline decorations and the ornate attire of hundreds of delegates. Sam Carter smoothed the front of her formal diplomatic uniform as she navigated through the crowd. The celebration marking the successful restoration of Valara Prime's ecosystem had drawn representatives from across the Galactic Council. Earth delegates were the guests of honor, the heroes of the hour. "Nicely done, Delegate Carter," came a familiar voice. Sam turned to find Nix the Avidar, representative, watching her with those large, unblinking eyes. "You turned their test into your triumph. Not many species manage that during their probationary period." Sam offered a modest smile. "The Council gave us an opportunity to demonstrate our commitment to galactic cooperation. We merely did what any responsible member would do." Nick's feathers rippled in what Sam had come to recognize as amusement. "Your public statements are becoming more council appropriate every day. But we both know what really happened. The Founding Seven miscalculated." Sam kept her expression neutral as a group of delegates passed nearby. "How are they taking their miscalculation?" she asked quietly. "With concern," Nix replied, "and renewed determination. Your solution on Valara Prime revealed technological capabilities they didn't anticipate. Now they fear what else humans might be capable of. The second trial will come soon, and it will target what they perceive as your weakness." "What weakness?" Sam asked. "Your compassion," Nick said. "Your willingness to help others. The Founding Seven consider it a flaw. They believe true power comes from self-interest. They will test whether humans can make hard choices when sentiment conflicts with advantage." Before Sam could ask for clarification, Delegate Oren approached his tall frame, casting a shadow over both of them. "Delegate Carter," he said, his tone carefully modulated to project warmth. "The Council commends Earth's assistance. The joint teams worked remarkably well together. Thank you. Delegate Earth is pleased to have been of service," Sam replied, matching his diplomatic tone. "The data sharing has been most illuminating," Oren continued. "Your drive technology is quite innovative, different from anything in Council records." Sam detected. "The subtle probe Earth developed independently for centuries. Delegate Oren, necessity drove our innovation." "Indeed," Oren nodded. "Perhaps we should discuss further technological exchange. The Founding Seven could offer significant advantages to Earth. In return for more comprehensive sharing of your propulsion systems And there it was, the attempt to gain what Earth had carefully protected, offering vague benefits in exchange for Earth's greatest advantage. Such discussions would be premature during our probationary period, Sam replied smoothly. But Earth looks forward to deeper cooperation as our relationship with the Council matures. Oren's expression remained pleasant, but his eyes hardened slightly. Of course, probationary protocols must be respected. Though exceptions can be made for particularly valuable exchanges, Sam smiled. Earth's government values the wisdom of Council procedures. We would not presume to seek exceptions as. Oren departed. Nix made a soft clicking sound. They will not give up so easily. The Founding Seven rarely accept denial. The exchange was interrupted by an urgent message on Sam's communication device. She excused herself, finding a quiet alcove to receive the transmission. Marcus appeared on the small screen, his expression grave. Sam, we have a situation. A Council peacekeeping vessel has intercepted a human exploration ship in the Arcturus sector. The captain is being detained for questioning. Sam's mind raced. Arcturus was far beyond Earth's recognized territory under probationary restrictions. What was a human vessel doing there? On what grounds, she asked. Suspected espionage. Marcus replied. They claim our ship was mapping restricted space. The captain, Lisa Wong, insists they were following an automated distress beacon. Her crew has been confined to the ship while she's being interrogated at Outpost Sigma. Sam frowned. This made no sense. Earth had been meticulously careful to follow Council restrictions. Any exploration had been conducted through proper channels with full documentation. Get me everything we have on that ship, their mission parameters, and this distress beacon. Sam ordered. And contact the outpost. I want to speak with Captain Wong. Immediately. Marcus hesitated. That's the problem. They won't allow communication. They cite security protocols. This is the second trial, Sam realized aloud. Nick's warning about compassion suddenly clear. Human exploration vessel operating beyond boundaries, following a distress call that conveniently led them into restricted space. Now detained without communication. Get the team together, Sam said. He'll return immediately. Back at the Earth Embassy, the situation had deteriorated. The Council Security Committee had convened an emergency session. Earth was formally accused of violating territorial restrictions. Captain Wong faced serious charges. The evidence against her seemed substantial. Navigation logs showing deliberate course changes toward restricted space. Scanning equipment active in prohibited regions. This doesn't make sense, Laura argued, studying the data. Captain Wong is one of our most experienced explorers. She would never violate protocols like this. Marcus agreed. The distress beacon records don't match standard emergency patterns. It's almost as if it was planted. Sam finished. The ship was lured. The Founding Seven created another crisis, but this time, instead of testing our technology, they're testing our loyalty. Will we stand by Council law and abandon our citizen? Or will we defy regulations to protect our own? The team fell silent, considering the implications. What are our options? Mira finally asked. Limited. Sam admitted. We could formally protest through Council procedures, but that would take weeks. Captain Wong would remain in custody. Meanwhile, Earth appears either complicit in espionage or unable to control our own ships. Neither perception helps our standing. Marcus leaned forward. We could request an independent investigation, but the Security Committee is dominated by Founding Seven allies. What about leverage? Laura suggested. The Valara Prime operation generated significant goodwill. Many delegates owe us favors. Sam nodded thoughtfully, beginning to see a path forward. The Founding Seven expect us to either abandon Wong, proving we're coldly calculating like them, or violate Council procedures to help her, proving we're emotionally driven and unfit for membership. But there's a third option. She turned to her team. We use Council procedures, but in unexpected ways. First, we need allies. Over the next hours, Sam mobilized every diplomatic resource available. She met privately with representatives from the Rim Alliance, the Resource Consortium, and even receptive members of the Protectorate, calling in favors negotiating new agreements promising future cooperation. When the security committee convened to formally review the charges, Sam was ready. The chamber was packed. Delegates curious about how Earth would respond to this first major challenge to their probationary status. Delegate Trell of the Founding Seven presented the case. Evidence clearly shows the human vessel deliberately entered restricted space, conducted unauthorized scans, and attempted to access secured communication channels. The captain claims to have followed a distress signal, but no such signal appears in official records. The committee recommends immediate sanctions against Earth and continued detention of the human crew. Sam rose to address the committee. Earth acknowledges the seriousness of these charges. She began, her voice steady. If the evidence is accurate, then protocols were indeed violated, but we request the opportunity to present alternative information. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Sam activated her presentation device. First, the matter of the missing distress signal. She displayed complex technical data. Our analysis indicates that the frequency used matches an obsolete emergency protocol from approximately 300 years ago. The chamber stirred with interest. Furthermore, Sam continued, we have located the source, a small research station abandoned during the third expansion. The signal activated automatically when the station's power systems began to fail. Our ship detected it because Earth still monitors these frequencies for historical reasons. This was the gamble. Earth had indeed found such a station, but only after intensive searching. It explained the ship's presence, but not the other evidence. As for the unauthorized scans, Sam said our vessel was conducting standard rescue protocols when it was intercepted. These include atmospheric analysis, life support, compatibility checks, and communication sweeps. These may resemble security scans but serve entirely different purposes. Delegate Trell interrupted. The ship clearly altered course to enter restricted space. Your explanation does not address this violation. Sam nodded. That is correct, under normal circumstances. But Earth has requested navigational data from 5 independent trading vessels that passed through adjacent sectors during the same time period. She displayed new data showing gravitational anomalies in the region. Unusual. Spatial distortions temporarily altered standard navigation paths. Our captain was compensating following proper protocols for distress response while maintaining what she believed was safe distance from restricted space. The committee members studied the data, skepticism evident, but Sam had saved her most powerful move for last Earth requests, the implementation of Article 47 of the Council Charter. She announced. The chamber fell silent. Article 47 was rarely invoked. It allowed for mind truth verification, an invasive but definitive procedure to determine a subject's honest belief. Captain Wong has volunteered to undergo mind truth verification, Sam said. Her confidence in her innocence is complete. Earth stands by our citizens' integrity. It was a calculated rise. Her communication device chimed softly, Marcus requesting her immediate return to the embassy. When she arrived, the entire team was gathered around the main display, their expressions grave. What happened? Sam asked. Breaking news, Marcus replied. The Founding Seven have announced the discovery of an ancient artifact, a device of immense power from a species that predates even council records. Laura pointed to the display showing images of an object unlike anything Sam had seen before. Roughly cylindrical, composed of material that seemed to shift and flow despite being solid. The device pulsed with energy readings off every known scale. According to the announcement, Mira said, the artifact can manipulate space-time at a fundamental level. Early tests suggest it could revolutionize travel energy production, possibly even terraforming. Sam studied the images. Where was it found? Deep space beyond the Antares sector. Marcus answered, no known claim to the region. It was discovered by a Founding Seven exploration team, and they're announcing this publicly. Sam asked. That seems unusually transparent for them. That's the interesting part. Laura said they're calling for an unprecedented council vote on how the technology should be used. They claim it's too powerful for any single faction to control. Sam frowned. This doesn't make sense. The Founding Seven never voluntarily share power, especially over something this valuable. Marcus nodded. Which is why we think this is the third trial the team spent Hours analyzing the announcement, the limited technical data released, and the proposed voting structure. The founding seven had suggested 5 options for the artifact's future. Each council member would rank their preferences. The option with highest aggregate support would be implemented. Secure storage until full research is complete. Option 1 seems the most cautious. Mira noted supervised research by all council factions. Option 2 spreads access, but maintains control. Sam added Laura pointed to the third option. Limited deployment for specific humanitarian crises. This appeals to compassionate species. Carefully controlled distribution of derived technologies to all council members. Option 4 essentially maintains the status quo. Marcus said the founding seven would control distribution. And Option 5 full technological integration across all council species. Sam read aloud. Maximum benefit, maximum risk. They all seem reasonable. Marcus said. Which is unusual for the founding seven. Sam nodded slowly. Why offer choices at all? Why not simply keep the artifact secret or claim exclusive rights? They certainly have the power, because this isn't about the artifact. Laura realized suddenly. It's about us. About Earth. The vote reveals our priorities. Sam saw it now. The founding seven had created the perfect test. The choices Earth made would reveal their true nature. Conservative or progressive risk. Averse or ambitious, self-interested or communal. And every other species will be watching. Sam said, our vote becomes our declaration to the galaxy. The team debated for hours, analyzing implications, considering consequences. The decision would define Earth's galactic identity. What did humanity truly value? Security, advancement, equality. Each option reflected a different philosophy. As the debate continued, Sam received an urgent message from Nyx requesting a private meeting. She found the Avidar representative in a secluded section of the botanical gardens. You understand what this vote truly is, Nyx said without preamble. The third trial, Sam confirmed. They want to see what Earth values most. Nyx made a soft, trilling sound. It's more than that. The artifact is real, but its capabilities are exaggerated. The founding seven already understand. It's technology. They merely wish to observe how other species react, particularly Earth. So our choice doesn't actually matter. Sam frowned. On the contrary, Nyx replied, it matters immensely. Not for the artifact, but for your future. The founding seven believe they can predict your choice. They believe humans will select either option 3, showing your compassionate weakness, or option 5, revealing reckless ambition. Either confirms their assessment that humans require control. Sam considered, this our actual vote matters less than their ability to predict us. Precisely. Nyx confirmed, they have studied your history. They believe they understand human nature. This is their true power. Not technology or military strength, but the ability to anticipate and manipulate younger species. Sam thanked Nyx for the insight, returning to the embassy with new perspective. The vote is designed to categorize us. Sam told her team, the founding seven believe they can predict our choice based on their analysis of human behavior. Marcus leaned forward. So we choose something unexpected? Not exactly, Sam replied. The test isn't just about surprising them. It's about defining ourselves on our own terms. For days the team analyzed every angle of the 5 options and their implications. But Sam grew increasingly convinced that the true solution lay elsewhere. On the day of the council vote, the chamber was filled to capacity. Every member species represented Earth as a probationary member would vote. Last, a position usually seen as disadvantageous, but which Sam now recognized as an opportunity. The voting proceeded with few surprises. Most species chose predictably, according to their known priorities and alliances. When Earth's turn came, Sam approached the central platform. Before casting Earth's vote, she addressed the chamber. Honorable Arbiter, esteemed delegates, Earth has studied the 5 options presented regarding the artifact. We find each has merit. Each reflects a different approach to power and responsibility. The chamber was silent. All attention focused on the human delegate. However, Sam continued, Earth proposes a sixth option. Murmurs of surprise spread through the chamber. The arbiter raised a crystalline limb. Point of order, Delegate Carter. The voting parameters were established by council consensus. No additional options were proposed during the preparatory period. Sam nodded respectfully. Earth acknowledges the established parameters. However, Article 12 of the Council Charter allows any member, even probationary, to propose emergency amendments when new information affects galactic security. This was a bold move using council law in unexpected ways. The arbiter conferred briefly with other officials, before reluctantly granting permission to present. Earth proposes that the artifact be placed under the protection of a newly formed independent commission, Sam announced, not controlled by any existing faction including the Founding Seven, but composed of scientific and ethical experts from all council species. A transparent collaborative approach that acknowledges both the artifact's potential and its risks. The chamber erupted in discussion. Sam continued, this commission would include equal representation from all council factions, including probationary members, with decisions requiring 70% consensus. No single group would have veto power. The artifact's power should belong to no one and to everyone. Its benefits shared, its dangers contained. The delegates debated. Sam could see the Founding Seven representatives conferring urgently. This proposal threatened their control, challenged their authority, yet rejecting it would reveal their true intentions. Their test had become a trap of their own making. Finally, Delegate Oren Rose Earth has made an unexpected proposal, he said carefully, one that requires significant consideration. The Founding Seven request time to evaluate this alternative. Sam held firm respectfully, but firmly. The artifact represents potential too significant for delay. Earth requests an immediate preliminary vote on whether to consider our proposal. If the Council agrees, we can develop detailed implementation plans. It was a masterful move. The vote would not be on adopting Earth's proposal, but merely on considering it. Who could reasonably object to consideration? Rejecting even discussion would expose bias. The arbiter called for the preliminary vote. The results appeared above the chamber. 78% in favor of considering Earth's proposal. A clear majority. The Founding Seven had been outmaneuvered. In the aftermath, Sam met with her team in the Earth Embassy. Their success had changed everything. We didn't just pass their test, Marcus said. We rewrote. Sam nodded. The Founding Seven expected us to choose from their options, revealing our predictability. Instead, we demonstrated what truly defines humanity. Not our preferences, but our ability to find alternatives, to see beyond false choices. Earth has officially established itself as an independent voice, Laura said, not aligned with any existing faction, but offering a new perspective. But we've also made powerful enemies. Mira warned, the Founding Seven won't forget this. Sam agreed. Our probationary period just became more challenging, but we've also gained ally species that have long resented Founding Seven dominance. Now see Earth as a potential counterbalance. The newly formed Artifact Commission became a reality in the following weeks. With representatives from across the galaxy, including Earth, it embodied a new approach to galactic governance, more transparent, more inclusive. The artifact itself proved significant, though not as revolutionary as initially claimed. Its technology advanced. Council science in important but controlled ways. More importantly, Earth had defined itself not as the Founding Seven expected. Not reckless, not naive, not easily manipulated, but innovative, principled, and independent Earths. Probationary status continued, but its influence grew. Smaller species began looking to humans for leadership. Alternative voting blocks formed, challenging the traditional power structure. 6 months later, Sam stood again on the observation deck watching the stars. A familiar presence joined her. You have changed the council, Nix observed. And in less than a single probationary cycle, Sam smiled slightly. The galaxy is vast enough for many voices, many perspectives. The